high tide, 100-year high tide mark that shifted as a result of the Sandy storm. You probably know this better than I do, that if you're in a place now that's considered below that, you have to have points of egress that are dry egress, and if you don't, your financing isn't going to go into place. This impacted large sections of the city, especially in the south end. So that money, Bridgeport received more, and Connecticut received more than New York and New Jersey in this, which is the first. Bridgeport received the largest share in Connecticut, which is a first. And it really will allow us to leverage in a positive way other funding sources to start to make a dramatic impact in a large sector of the city, predominantly the south end, in partnership, I'd like to think, with the University of Bridgeport, who, again, not to look backward, to look forward, deserves a strong partnership with city government. I'm a graduate of law school there as well, so I know the school well. But beyond that, I had, even recently, 2 weeks ago, had the pleasure of going down there at the invitation of UB, and to see the gymnastics team, which is first in the nation. I mean, first in the nation in women's gymnastics. I mean, unbelievable. Of course, once we got to the field house, the swimmers were there, so we went in and took pictures with the swimmers. The baseball team was there. We saw the baseball team. And I thought it was good that we went down, the 4 or 5 of us, to show that Mayor Bridgeport cares about UB. You're important to the city. We gave proclamations at one of the council meetings, and just to really build that bond and build that pride around everything that has Bridgeport in it. And that university is certainly entitled to that as well. So some highlights in the grants, I think some highlights in progress in relationships with our largest university. Some things that are going to come down the pike that may or may not impact your business in a positive way. But when we pulled up here, we parked out front, we put quarters in the parking meters, which drives me crazy. We seem to be antiquated in some things like how we deal with making our downtown area and some of our business areas business-friendly and customer-friendly. And it's frustrated me for years, even when I was trying to go to the courthouse, you got to put $2 worth of quarters in and run out in 2 hours. So, I get all caught up in stuff like this, but half of our team is down in Norwalk today looking at the parking meter project that they've installed down there and how to modernize ours, whether it's with the credit cards or where you can park in different places and look to work with merchants and vendors, especially in the downtown area, but in all the key corridors in the city of Bridgeport that have parking meters and parking issues to improve that. I mean, look, if we're going to pay high taxes in this town until we can get our handles on that, if we're going to be concerned that we're delivering services, but we can always do better on it, let's make it as friendly an environment as we can, at least for people that are doing business here, to get their customers in and out, or for us, just coming to Holiday Inn to be able to feel that it's a comfortable environment, just even to just park, get out of the car and leave without getting a ticket. So that's one thing. I'm also working, maybe you're impacted less, but maybe your customer bases are impacted as well with the bus service in the city of Bridgeport and the bus stops. I tried to start this last time I was in. I think we need to understand that a large percentage of the population in Bridgeport relies on buses for transportation, and a decent bus stop, shelter at as many locations as we can get, decorative the ones that can beautify an area, just to make it a decent way of instead of standing in the rain or in the snow, to have a place to sit. Maybe some people are not 25 years old and jumping around. They may need a place to sit, wait for a bus, maybe want to get out of the rain and the snow. So that's another thing hopefully you'll see visibly that improves bus transportation. And for those of us which I found walking this city through 3 pairs of shoes, walking the sidewalks, one of the challenges in many of our neighborhoods, maybe not so much downtown, many of our neighborhoods is trying to walk down the sidewalk without tripping. It came to a commitment I made during the campaign that I wanted to provide a fund to help homeowners and businesses improve the quality of sidewalk in front of their place, and we would participate in that, and we'll make a more formal announcement on that. 2 weeks ago, the city got hit with a $400,000 judgment for someone tripping on the sidewalk. And when I started thinking, if we're going to pay $400,000 to one person, unfortunately, who got injured, we could certainly find $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 to do to help support sidewalk improvements throughout the city and begin to improve the ability for people just to walk down the sidewalk and not trip. When I moved to Cartwright Street, which is in the west end of the city, my jogging path became North Avenue, Park Avenue, and then I'd cut across Capitol, or I'd go up Park Avenue, depending on how strong I felt that day. But I did trip. One of the first times I jogged, I did physically trip myself. Sometimes, you know, who's the guy that got hit in the head with the apple? You know, it's when you trip, I realize, you know, we really need to fix our sidewalks. So little things like that, in addition to supporting the waterfront projects that are happening, Bass Pro, and the follow-up development that will continue to develop the waterfront there is a great attraction for the region and beyond. Will continue to move Bridgeport forward, as I like to say, on everything that's going on positive, but also to improve those things that need to be improved on, that we might not say are meeting the commitment, public safety, I believe quality of services and cleanliness, making a better business environment for customers, like I said, with parking meters, making it more pedestrian friendly, or for people who are using public transportation, trying to take a better look at some of the challenges with homeless in the city, going around to places and getting people approaching me about opportunities in the city for job opportunities, are all the things we're trying to get our arms around while trying to straighten out the buildings of city government themselves. The depth and the nuances of that are probably more than you want to kind of get into. I would tell you that I think we have a good team that has gone in and tried to streamline, consolidate, and make city government, every department, operate more efficiently for the delivery of services. Lastly, we're going through the revaluation cycle this year for the city. It can be somewhat, anytime you have change, it can be uncomfortable. Revaluation can be particularly uncomfortable. Those of you that own property in the city may have gotten, should have gotten revaluation notices by now, and you can ask me questions about it. The takeaway is, for those of us that have been through this before, we never really know what the end numbers are going to be until the mill rate's set. Some people's properties have gone down substantially. Some have gone down moderately. Some have gone up moderately. Few have gone up dramatically. Last cycle, when this was done, was either 2008 or 2009. So we all know the brief history of what the economy looked like then. Everything seemed to have been higher, including the stock market, more expensive property values. Since then, it's gone down. So the valuation will, the goal is, as we know, to give the most accurate current value of property in the city of Bridgeport now, and then how it relates to everyone else's values will be what it is, and then of course set a mill rate dictated by the cost of doing business or the cost of running city government. And it won't be until July that the kind of the end numbers for us that own something will know exactly what we're going to pay. It may go up, it may go down, it may stay pretty close to the same. Lastly, my vision for this city long term, once we're able to get our arms around some of the challenges, is going to be to continue on with the waterfront development that we've had, to continue the commitment that's been made with youth, as Carolyn helped fulfill under the last administration, but to build on that more, to make sure that the youth, our young people, those that we're having these meetings with now, that are in the neighborhoods trying to figure out why, maybe these are my words, not theirs, why their life is so challenging growing up in a city that leads them to altercations, that lead to gun violence, and going down the wrong path, to try and work through those tender issues with them, whether it's through the schools, whether it's through summits, whether it's through programs that we announce through City Hall, to have them understand that that course, that path, that there are alternatives, that we are there, we are in partnership, and that there are opportunities in Bridgeport that will take them hopefully from that mindset to the mindset of they can be and should be the individuals sitting at these tables in years to come, or standing at the podium here in years to come, that are being introduced as Dr. Stallworth is, as Av is, or as Carolyn is, as the people that maybe have, I don't know everyone's particular story, but maybe haven't had the easiest times in life, or maybe are part of a second chance opportunity, is kind of I've been framed in many ways, who have challenges in their lives, and they can and should be focused, if we can get them there, those that are not focused, on being the future leaders of this great city. I'm going to stop there and see if there's some questions or things that you want me to touch on. I don't know how we're doing on time.